Hi bloggers, I hope you had a fantastic Christmas, I certainly did. I hope you ate loads of food, drank too much, watched plenty of TV and plenty of movies. So I hope you had a great day. It's all over for another year, which is really depressing, but nevertheless, New Year's Eve is coming up, which is cool. I hope you had a great day. What I'm talking to you about today is actually about what was on Christmas Day and what did you actually watch. Because for me, the really, really big thing, which I'm sure for many people was the Doctor Who Christmas special, A Christmas Carol. As many of you know, I am a huge Doctor Who fan. I absolutely love Doctor Who. So this was really, really special to me. I was really looking forward to watching this. I have before been in contact with the magazine, and I have been offered to write for the magazine before, which I'm holding here. So I was very excited about this show. And basically, I just wanted to say sort of my thoughts on it. For any of you who didn't watch it, the basic premise of the show was a rewriting of Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, with Michael Gambon playing a character called Kazran, who was like the Scrooge of the story in this, I can't remember, Sarkin town, it was something like that. And he basically had the power to control this town and control the air above it. Like he says in one thing, I'm giving you the sky and everything below it. He had full power of this place in space and time. And while he is being his typical Scrooge, he's thinking for himself, selfishness character, a spaceship is crash landing with over 4,000 people on it who are obviously going to die if he doesn't do anything about it, which he's reluctant to do. So the Doctor steps in and he goes back in time to rewrite Kazran's past, to make him a likeable person, to mend his heart, to make him whole again. And that way push him back to present day, and then he'll realise he's making a fatal error and he needs to save these people. So it's a very, very interesting twist on the story. It's still got all the same sort of things, Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and the Ghost of Christmas to Come, and all that sort of stuff is still in there. They're told obviously through the regular Doctor Who characters, and Amy appears as one of them. Rory's in there. So the standard cast are there, along with Michael Gambon as Scrooge, and Catherine Jenkins, who is the Welsh opera singer, as Abigail, who is a lady who's frozen, and she is There's a vault you can have somebody frozen if you're in financial difficulty. And she lends herself for that to help her family out of mass debt. And when the Doctor rewrites his past, Abigail becomes a big part of Kazran's life, which obviously he had no idea of until now. So in many ways it's quite complex for a Christmas story, but at its heart it really is a Christmas story, it really is. And I think that comes down to Stephen Moffat, the showrunner now and the writer. Because Moffat is a genius, an absolute genius. We need him in cinema. He needs to be writing films. There are plenty of TV writers who've gone on and written beautiful, amazing movies. Alan Ball is the first one that comes to my head, who was the showrunner and writer of 6 Feet Under, who now does True Blood. He wrote American Beauty, which is one of the finest pieces of modern cinema. Stunning performances from Kevin Spacey and Annette Bening. Beautiful direction and cinematography from Sam Mendes. Alan Ball nailed that film, because that film is the script. Its life is in that script. I think Moffat could do that for cinema. I think Moffat could get a brilliant story told in over an hour. He gets 45 minutes or an hour, and for the special for Doctor Who, I reckon he could get an hour and a half, 2 hour feature film and nail it. I thought Christmas Carol was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was incredibly well made. The budget, because this year's Doctor has had a budget cut. Even though Matt Smith's Doctor has been fantastic, and the story's been great, and every week's been entertaining, he has had a budget cut quite dramatically. If you look at some of the last Tennants, if you look at the Catherine Tate and David Tennant series 4, the budget difference is ridiculous. But it seems people have obviously got more faith in Matt Smith now, and the ball is now rolling. And they had the teaser trailer for next series, which looks brilliant, just brilliant. It's half it's set in America. This whole presidential campaign, the Ood are back. It looks fantastic. But it seems in A Christmas Carol they realise, okay, you know, we like Matt Smith now. Matt Smith's bringing in viewers. Let's give him a few more quid. And they certainly put the budget up for A Christmas Carol. There is a fantastic lump of CGI in this show that really works, is really core to the story, but it doesn't take away anything from it, if that makes sense. It's not a parade of style. There's lots of substance in this story. There really is a heart in this tale, which I thought was really great. And I think this is going to connect to its audience, and I think this is going to be an episode of Doctor Who that's going to be remembered. I really do. Catherine Jenkins was fantastic, because, I mean, I thought, you know, I was saying, you know, with I know it's a bad example, but Fred the movie, which was appalling. They shoved Pixie Lott in there. What's she going to do? She's going to sing, because she's Pixie Lott. She's not an actress. She's a singer. Fine. But I thought that was what was going to happen with Doctor Who. I thought, oh, Catherine Jenkins, she's a blonde woman. She's very attractive. Let's just make her sing because she's attractive. But no. They actually, the way they writ her into the story and the way her music was compelled and part of the tale really worked. It was really interesting to see. And actually, she was quite good. When she was actually having to act, she was actually quite believable, because she was very heartfelt, because she only has a small amount of time on Earth, because she's always in these frozen chambers. You know, so every day to her is basically like a new life, which was lovely. And that whole sort of radiance and that whole sort of rebirth beginning for her every time she's released in this chamber was really apparent throughout her performance, and I thought that was great. Michael Gambon was brilliant as always. I mean, he's so diverse. It's disgusting how diverse Michael Gambon is. You know, the other day I watched Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix again the other day, and you know, he's Dumbledore. He's brilliant as Dumbledore. You know, he's a bit of edge, but he's lovable. You know, he's Expelliarmus everywhere, and you know, he's really, really thorough as Dumbledore. I mean, Richard Harris was brilliant, but you know, Gambon has taken the majority of Dumbledore. And then you see him as this guy who's, you know, half the film is going to strike kids and stuff in half of this episode of Doctor Who. He's really horrible. He is horrible. And there's like, you know, the Doctor's like, these people are going to die. If you don't stop, if you don't save these people, 4,000 people are going to die. And he's like, yeah, but I don't know them. It doesn't matter, I don't know them. Get him out of here, sort of thing. You know, he's really cold. And there's a beautiful scene when he goes to strike a kid, which happens to be his younger self in the past. And his body language and his facial expressions being like, he would have been a great silent actor, Michael Gambon, because his face tells the story. He says what he means by his eyes and his lips. Gambon may have a great voice, you know, for the HSBC adverts, but as an entire actor, he is one of the finest actors working in cinema today, and he has been for a long time. Again, Matt Smith was brilliant as always. This episode was really funny. Much funnier than I expected. My sister hates Doctor Who. She's never had an interest in it at all. And she sat and watched it with me, and she thought it was really funny. There's a bit, because there's an ongoing theme in Doctor Who. You know, everyone takes a mick out of Matt Smith's Doctor because he wears a bow tie. And then they take the mick out of him again in The Big Bang, the last episode of Series 5, because he wears a fez. You know, any sort of strange fashion that he may appear with is ridiculed. And the young Kazran says to him, what kind of tie are you wearing? And he says, a cool one. And my sister burst out laughing, which I was quite happy about, because she wasn't interested in watching it at all. But this episode is obviously made not just for Doctor Who fans, which is really important, because that's where a lot of shows go wrong. They expect only loyal viewers to watch it. Now on Christmas Day at 6 o'clock, people do watch the TV. You know, so you've got to give them something that everyone can actually enjoy. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, there's a lot in this episode. If you don't know about Doctor Who, you wouldn't get it. You know, like the sonic screwdriver is a really important part of it. If you don't know what a sonic screwdriver is, it should be a bit like, okay, it's a green flashing stick thing. But as a whole, as a story, and as a piece of television, it was really accessible, it was really clever, and it was beautifully written. I mean, you can get BAFTAs for just episodes and stuff, because obviously, you know, it's TV and film. I would give Moffat a BAFTA for his writing for Doctor Who, because, don't get me wrong, Russell T Davies' Doctor Who was great, fine, but Moffat is the man. If you ask anybody what their favourite episode of Doctor Who is from, say, the new series, from like 1 to 4, so from Christopher Eccleston to David Tennant, they will all say the Moffat episodes. they will all say like Silence in the Library,